Friends, today we're going to take the Christmas Greenery stamp set and we're not going to use it for Christmas. Oh, nay, nay. We are going to create 4 seasons of cards: winter, spring, summer, fall. These cards are so much fun. Just a simple joy diagonal fold. We are going to create a winter card as we are coming up on winter. And of course, this will also make a great Christmas card. But I say let's jump in and get started. Hello, my stampin' friends. I'm Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys are here today to learn how to take a Christmas stamp set and how we are going to convert that into a card or a stamp set that you can use all year long. Yeah, this one you don't have to put away at the end of the season. We have 4 cards today for all seasons. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about the supplies you need to create today's cards. Friends, you know I love to provide you with a free download that goes along with my videos. So this one is going to have all of the paper colors for winter, spring, summer, and fall. I broke all that down for you. You're going to have the measurements here. Of course, if you need to come back and watch the video, there's a QR code that you can scan or just click there to view the video. This one, I've got some like bonus pictures because we have 4 cards. So a great image there. So you'll have all of your photos and of course a supply list. Yes, I know it looks awfully long, but remember 4 cards and lots of different colors. So we've got all the colors of cardstock in your ink pads, all the good stuff. Friends, if you're in the United States, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can just follow that link and you'll be able to see everything right there and order what you need. All right, friends, let's jump into our card. As I said, we're going to create one for winter. I loved the colors and I just thought it was a really unique take on winter colors. So let's jump in. So we will be crafting with the bundle today, the Christmas Greenery bundle. So one thing I want you to know about this one is that it is a 2-step stamp. Hallelujah. I love those because that means I don't have to color. I can just take the flower and I can stamp. I can take the leaves. Everything I need is right there. It's fantastic. I want you to also notice this image right here. So it is definitely with that poinsettia in the middle. Definitely has a Christmas feel, but stay tuned to Simply Simple Stamping because I'm going to show you how you're going to change that one to an all-season image as well. So I've got another idea up my sleeve. So we will be also using the dies. And something else I wanted you to notice about this stamp set is, of course, we have the dies that match the images, but we have some bonus ones. Look at these. And the 2 holly leaves and berries. I'm a sucker for holly leaves and berries at Christmas. That is one of my favorite things to stamp. But I got really excited by this one because I wanted to have the dies. But look at these. We've got a great big bow as well. So what I kind of call this die set, I kind of call it, it's got bonus. It's got bonus. I love it. I think you will too. With that, let's see what we need to get started. I have a piece of Night of Navy, 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that score line. And now we're going to do our diagonal cut. So we do need to cut this from the upper left to the bottom right. What I want you to kind of think about is we need to cut this section off because it's going to fold this way. But what we want to do is we want to go from the upper left corner down to the bottom right corner. All right. So I'm going to line that up. Can you see how I'm just lining that up in my paper trimmer there in the track? So as long as we have those 2 lined up, we're going to get a perfect cut. Splice, boom, there is our diagonal fold. Now, you guys know I absolutely hate waste. So let me tell you what we're going to do with this piece. We're going to actually use this on our card and we're going to do a little dry embossing on it. So I'm not going to cut anything off the diagonal. I'm only going to cut from the top and the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off this side. All right. Now I'm going to, well, let me get that out of there. We're going to flip this around. All right. Flip it over. And now we're going to cut 1/4 of an inch on this side. Remember, we're not cutting anything on that diagonal. And let me show you what we get. We get a perfect layer. Yay! So we're going to be embossing that. Let's go ahead and talk about the embossing folder. It is called Gathering Leaves. It's a great embossing folder. You can kind of see it's really a good all season folder, right? And I'm going to be using this on all my cards. By the way, we're going to create the one card, but I just want you to know all the cards are created exactly the same. So I'm actually going to go ahead and place the diagonal piece. This is the one that we cut. We're going to put that in our embossing folder. And just a reminder to run that through your machine, you're going to need base plate 1, your embossing folder. I like to put the seam side that's going to go into the machine that way. And then you need embossing plate 4. So we're going to run that through our machine. And we have a great embossed image. Now, I'm actually going to be doing that same thing. I've got a piece of berry burst, and this is a 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to run that through as well. And with that, both of our embossing pieces are done. We can go ahead and add these to our card. I'm going to put the berry burst there in the back. And of course, that great embossed diagonal, that's going to go right there. What a great way to use up that scrap. Now, I get a little heavy-handed with my adhesive when it comes to embossed cardstock because we're kind of manipulating that cardstock. We're bending it a little bit. I really want to make sure it is going to hold in place on all 4 sides. I don't want that cardstock to kind of get any of that buckling. So you see, I put the adhesive on all 4 sides right to the edge. I'm not too worried about the middle, but I just want to make sure I don't have any gappage. All right. All right. That's looking great. Now we are ready to add the card that's going to go inside. So this is the message card base, and this is 3 1/8 by 8, and then scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock on this one. Again, like I said, I just think these make gorgeous winter colors. I almost said fall. How about winter colors? So here's how this card goes together. So we're going to take the fold. It's going to be up here at the top. And I'm going to line that up here on the diagonal. So it just kind of clips right there, right? We're going to do that. And then we're going to line up the bottom. And you see this corner, we want it to line up with the bottom of the diagonal. See how it kind of makes it all sit just right? Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea how that's going to go. So I can just line that up. Again, I am going to get heavy-handed here as well because this has to adhere on to embossed cardstock, which you just don't have quite as much surface area for that to sit on. Hey, we're doing pretty good. All right, we're going to go ahead and add that. It's time to stamp. Let's do some stamping. Our base card is done. And you notice Christmas Greenery has no sentiments or greetings in it, right? None. So I'm going to bring in the greetings and sentiments from Beautiful Motifs. I had something that worked for all 4 of my cards, all 4 seasons. That was fun. So yeah, that's why I chose this stamp set. But we're going to start. I've got 2 pieces of basic white. These are identical. These are 2 7/8 by 3 3/4. Now, I'm going to pause for just 1 second here. So this card has white on the front. The other cards have color. So you are going to see that, you just want to kind of follow what you need for each card. This one, they're both going to be white. And we have 2 more pieces that we need in basic white. This is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. That's going to be for our stamped flowers. Then we have our greeting for the front, 7/8 by 2 inches. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to start here with our flowers. I'm going to use the Memento Black ink for this. We are simply going to stamp this. Now we get to have some fun with that 2-step stamping. My 3 ink pad colors, I've got Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, and Berry Burst. So we're going to start, let's start with our Berry Burst. It's kind of my favorite color. And we're going to fill in the flowers. So again, 2-step stamping, always a favorite of mine because we can just stamp right inside these flowers. Beautiful. And next we're going to bring in the pretty peacock and we're going to do the leaves. I know, pretty peacock, not necessarily a color you would think of for the leaves, but trust me, it really is beautiful. And after we're done with these leaves, you notice that we have these little kind of piney type. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the 2-step for that, and I'm going to stamp off once. I'm going to use this paper because I'm going to be die cutting this. We'll stamp off and we'll stamp there. See how it just kind of gives a different color? Love that. All right, the last thing we need to do is the bow, and we're going to do that in Night of Navy. And that just stamps right inside. It is beautiful. Okay, remember, we were using the dies today. We'll take that to our die cutting machine. You can see that's just going to line up perfectly. We will die cut our flowers by using base plate 1, thin die adapter 2, a cutting plate 3. We'll line up our die on our image, and then we'll top it with another cutting plate 3, and we're going to run that through. Isn't it so pretty? All right, we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this. It's going to just add that extra dimension, kind of makes the card stand out a little bit. To take one of those basic whites, and we're going to add it here. I will take my beautiful flowers. I'm going to add that there. Remember, we had another one of those. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and we will get our greeting on this one here. We're going to do that also in the Berry Burst. Now, this one, I'm going to use the same stamp on both the front and on the inside. The one that's going to go on the inside, what you want to know is you're only going to have this space right here. So you want this to be stamped in the upper left-hand corner. This is a photopolymer stamp, so it's very easy to see where to stamp that. Now on my 7/8 by 2, that's going to be the greeting for the front. We'll add this here to the inside. All right there. You see, that way we can see our greeting there, our message. And you can kind of tuck this, of course, where you stamp and adhere, your image will change any of that. And friends, let's add a little bling because everything needs some bling. I use the Charming shimmer dots or faceted shimmer. Guys, these things are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use the Berry Burst ones here. And yeah, we're just going to add, it comes with a large and a small. And, you know, you can just kind of do whatever, wherever you want the bling. And interesting enough, I used these same shimmer dots on all 4 cards. So there is our first card. Gorgeous. Let's go ahead and kind of talk about the other 3 seasonal cards we created. Don't forget to grab your free download that goes along with today's video. You'll have the measurements. You'll have all the different colors that I used on the cards. All that is right there for you. You will find that at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. I'd love for you to have that free download, and it's going to make recreating these cards so simple. For spring, I use Lemon Lolly as my card base. And you notice this one, I don't have a layer on the front. No, I thought the Fresh Freesia, it was perfect. And I just didn't want to mess with that. And a little soft sea foam in the back says celebrate. Wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. So a great card for wedding or anniversary. And I used, there's those shimmer dots. So they looked perfect with it. Let's move on to summer. My favorite, and because I love these bright colors, a little strawberry slush. And I use Timid Tiger in the background, Daffodil Delight. And so here I brought in some Granny Apple Green for the front layer rather than white. There's my flowers, and you saw I got to stamp those in 3 different colors. Just a simple hello, just a note, perfect card. I use the Night of Navy shimmer dots on that one. All right, let's look at the last one, and that is fall. What a fun and beautiful color combination. Crushed curry, garden green, Cajun Craze, and Blackberry Bliss. Ooh, so pretty. I'm here for you always. You've been on my mind. Oh, and you notice the backgrounds on all of these. Okay. I use that same um, Gathering Leaves embossing folder on all of them because it works so well. It was just absolutely beautiful. Friends, that is how easy it is to create with a stamp set that is primarily used for Christmas, but this is how you're going to be able to use it all year long. Thank you so much for being here, my friends. I hope you were inspired by today's video and that you'll give it a try. If you were, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. And hey, if you have not subscribed to the channel, guys, that is an absolutely free thing you can do. Click that subscribe button and YouTube will let you know whenever I have a new video posted if you ring the bell to get your notifications. Hey, if you love paper crafting, you might want to check out my YouTube membership. There are 3 different tiers you can look at. And friends, this is an amazing and fun way to get some real one-on-one crafting time. You can read all about it by clicking the join button. It's right next to the subscribe button. Join, cancel at any time, but it's a great, really fun way where we can all craft together. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'd love to have you. With that, my friends, farewell. Have a great day, and I can't wait to stamp with you next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.